So welcome
Episode
to
12.
Officially
Episode
Casually.
12, man.
you
Yeah,
only-
man. Fucking 12. Fucking 12, man.
You know, I don't want anybody to know that it took us 15 minutes to start this episode because we were trying some new technology. So nobody said anything about that, and then can go on with our lives.
Yeah, I
Jesus
think
Christ.
it took us. Nah, it took. Yeah, it took. Oh, no, seriously, it took us 50 minutes.
50 minutes. I'm looking at the time. All right. We started even
Oh
before.
fuck! Yeah, the quality of this recording is gonna.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if the quality
Go
of
ahead.
the recording is gonna be great.
Yeah, we're
Well, the connection sounds great. You haven't disconnected yet, so that's what I care about the
Okay.
most right now.
Rafa, just a question: are you recording number 23 also on your laptop?
no.
Okay, fair enough.
You can use the microphone on your laptop, Maybe it's worth it.
Just to have it like a
Maybe
local.
not.
I think I disabled the microphone on the computer. That's the thing. The default one. So
Uh-huh.
Conspiracy theories 101. You don't want Google to offer you spoilers about Game of Thrones? You already seen it. So what's the problem? You don't let Google listen to you.
Just a question.
It would tell you.
Do you guys hear like an
Go ahead.
echo in the background?
Just a tad bit, actually, now that you mention
So,
it.
because like when you guys talk,
But
then
it
you
was-
hear an echoing in the background.
So I wonder if it will come up when we listen to the recording. So if it's something like just from recording time.
Ah, right.
Because,
Fuck.
because it's not normal echo. It's just like an artifact of the recording, I think. It doesn't sound like my house doesn't suddenly have echo, and I don't think your house does either. So maybe the recording.
Yeah, let's just see. If you fuck up this episode, fuck it. Fuck it, like it's part of the journey.
For all time's sake.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all time's sake, all right?
Going back to the classic episodes 1 and 2. Oh, I love it. Rafa is still there.
Yeah, that's what I
Rafa?
was
Can you guys hear me?
wondering, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Now we can.
So I've been talking for a bit, and I was like, "Oh, that's odd that they're not responding." But it seems like if maybe my screen turns off, it stops recording or something. That's odd.
Really? I'm gonna try. Okay.
That's terrible technology. Jesus Christ.
Second, I'm gonna try to turn off my screen. So I'm just gonna keep on talking and press on the button. And if I go out, then it doesn't work.
Okay. Count
Okay,
from 1 to 1.
1 to 10. 1. Okay. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6. Is it not working?
We can still hear you.
No, it's
No.
okay.
Screen is out, but it's still working.
Let's see with me.
Maybe you have
1,
some settings,
2,
Rafa.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually scared. Like, imagine if you're counting and suddenly 4, and then nothing, and then nothing at all. Oh shit! That would have been something else.
And then next week you guys are
When
recording
the-
just the two of you, and then I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, and then I just keep counting 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7. Oh shit!
Alright.
Welcome to Officially
Fuck. But do you guys remember episode 1 where how did it work? I recorded myself, but I didn't record you guys. And then
That was episode 2.
no, you're right. Episode 1 was I recorded you, but it didn't record me. And then I recorded you, but it didn't record you.
That must be amazing to hear, like if you want to hear somebody going slowly mad, just listen to that episode of you talking with
And then
yourself.
and then the third episode with
Oh
Skype recording, which was like a really bad quality. And then you basically can listen from episode 4. So it took us almost a month to get like a decent
Yeah.
episode.
And now, even though we kind of figured out a method, we still went
shit.
back to the drawing board to try new things and see if this works or not.
Right, but I think that's how it works, right? You have to, because we could play it safe, right, and go with the thing that works. But then we're not gonna figure out if new things gonna work, right?
Exactly.
And it's all about pushing out the boundaries and making it more easier and convenient for everybody. So again, this is like a more experiment, and you have to be willing to fuck up. You have to be willing to fuck up. And some people maybe when they listen to this recording, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, that's a good quality. Why did I change it?" Yeah, because you're trying new things. That's it. That's the thing. And yeah, we are how to call it? We are allowing ourselves to fuck up. That's the thing, man.
You know, I like that observation that it took us almost 1 month to get it going to like decent quality. And because it sounds like a lot, it took us 1 month. Like it wasn't immediate, right? Like it wasn't an instant gratification thing. But that idea that it would take a month to have like a quality
Right.
thing or a decent quality thing, like would stop me in the past. But the reality is that's absurd when you think about it. Because if I'd never done this podcast and I waited 10 years to do a podcast, then it didn't take 3 months, right? It takes 10 years and 3 months to get the podcast going, right? So to that decent quality. So what I'm saying is like it's better to just get the bad out, just get the low quality, the crap out if you need to, because that's the only way, you're gonna get to the good
Yeah,
stuff, or it's
right,
one of the
right.
ways you're gonna get
And
to
you're
the good
completely
stuff.
right with like the 1 month barrier. If I will, but it's gonna take me so long to get like the hang out of it. Fuck no. It's patience, man. Fucking patience, man. Is okay, is Rafa
Yeah,
gone again?
patience and just doing it.
Yeah, look, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, the same thing. It's just when
We
the
can.
screen just turned off by itself, my audio just went out. So I'll just change the settings or something. So anyway, what I was saying is, I like that way of looking at it. That if you're 20 years old, you've already spent 20 years getting ready for that thing anyway. So what is one more month or 1 week or a couple more days?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that thing that nobody's an overnight success, right? It's just accumulated time, and then maybe in certain things you get discovered overnight, but you get discovered because you're so good or so interesting at what you are doing or so precise at the sport you're playing that
hmm
it's not overnight. Maybe you work on that for how many years or a month or whatever,
Keep
right?
it classic, but it's like in the beginning.
It's fine. I haven't.
It's like just like when we started. I think you're.
I haven't.
Oh, hello.
I can't hear.
Okay, Rafa.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Did the screen turn off
So
again?
fucking weird.
I
I was just on the settings,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you you take the podcast out of
Mhm.
focus also, it gives problems, but not always. Maybe it's a memory thing. Like if you dedicate memory to parts, it just kind of cuts a little bit. Because now I was moving
Maybe
between
that
apps and
is
closing apps,
connected. We
and
have
it just kind of went for a moment.
yeah, fact, man. What was I want to say? I forgot what I wanted to say, man. But it made me just really hard to laugh when I heard your bizarre voice. Like it reminded me of Rafa. Do you remember at the beginning we recorded with Skype and Eduardo, but we had like video call chat and Eduardo suddenly like went like slow motion and then like suddenly he speed up and his hands were like
Skype would try to compensate because it slowed down and then it would just like, speed up. And it was extra funny because we're seeing you in the webcam.
yeah, but like I remember the funny the extra funny part was us because we saw each other and we looked at each other like, okay, do you notice this or is it just me? But when he started laughing, I was like, okay, it's not just me, you know. Because in the beginning, yeah, but at the beginning we didn't know
Well,
on
we
which
don't
side it
have
was
that
fucked up, you know, for the internet shit, and that's why we started recording locally, right?
now I think it's pretty sure which side is fucked up, but hopefully
Yeah, I think the
better
quality of this episode is gonna be really bad, man.
with, oh, we don't know. Maybe
Yes,
the
on my
recording
side,
sounds
but
great.
but Rafa's
At
side
least
is
the number
prone.
23 recording will be nice, I hope.
Yeah. We'll see.
Ah,
We'll see what happens. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but we don't have it, so
you know, the thing is also with the
yeah,
quality
you got a
part,
little
right?
microphone.
Once you go up, there's like a part of me is like, ooh, I don't want to go back to bad quality, you know.
Yeah. You've moved up the
Because
ranks.
right, because it's not pleasant to listen to. It's just not pleasant to listen to when the recording is like bam 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 sham sham bam. And especially because the other thing is now that we are available on Spotify, iTunes, and the other podcast apps, the other podcasts, then it's just like oh, maybe we should like have like decent quality, aim for that more.
You know what?
But again, yeah.
Actually they will literally kill us if our quality is not that good. They will.
They'll just
That is the only
at
problem.
our
It's the only thing
houses
that
at
makes
the
me a little
same
nervous.
time.
Other than that, I
All
don't. I
three of
don't
Uh-huh.
care.
us we're in
But
different
yeah.
parts of the world, and they're gonna be like, okay, we need to have a talk, and by it, we just need to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how
um,
Mark
guy,
went out. Like Mark is
it's easy
but
for you to say,
it was
because
really
like
tragic.
the killing
So that's
part,
the only thing
then
hard
it's
for
done
me
for you guys. But I'm the guy who has to do the editing, and I'm the guy who's not fucked up. If you're dead, you're immediately dead. You know?
So it actually, I wanna talk a little bit about quality because I think that word gets thrown around so much, especially here. But I use it all the time, and like, can we define quality for a moment, and can we maybe give some examples and maybe think about how that bar is created, right? Like the quality bar, because with certain things, I think it's easier than others. we like underwear, for example. But at the same time, like quality varies, right? Like for me, good quality underwear is comfortable and durable, right? That's kind of it. I don't care too much how it looks, but maybe for someone else it will be something different in
But even
underwear
going
Mm-hmm.
or
to your
in everything,
example
right?
of
In a
like
chair,
the
what is
underwear,
quality in a chair?
it
Like,
being durable and it being comfortable, how do you define that? Like how can you really tell that it is, I guess more importantly, like durable? Because comfortable, you can kind of feel it when you're gonna buy it, but then at the same time you don't know if the first time you wash it, then it's gonna maintain that quality, because it might maintain its structure. It might stay being an underwear, but it might not like stay soft or something. So even there, even I feel like when you break into how you slice quality, it's still mushy ground. It's still kind of blurry.
It depends. It depends so much on the not the situation, but on the
yeah.
industry and for what you use. It's very like how to call it, individual. It's very individual. Like when you have a can, a can of Coke, right? How do you defend the quality of the can? It shouldn't cut you. It should be easy to open. It shouldn't break the pieces. Like when you open up a can at the top, it shouldn't break. Like the handle away without opening the can. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's like what's called that's good quality. Um, Headphones. Do they have like a background noise? Yes or no? So I think the quality thing is really highly individual, and also like what do you need what do you need it now for?
And I feel like all these things are also based on comparison. That something can only have as much quality as you've seen. So if you haven't had headphones that cancel noise and you haven't ever tried them and you haven't like even heard about them, the noise cancellation would probably not even like you wouldn't even think about it probably. But then you would try one and it would just blow your mind, even if you try like a really shitty noise canceling one, because it would be the first. It would just mess your standard up so much that it might just kind of like sway it in that direction.
Mm,
Yeah, but can we agree that there's a like a quality bar? Like let's choose on an industry, noise canceling headphones. There's a quality bar, right? And we can all agree on a, maybe not the same medium, but we can say what is good quality, because I guess it has to do with what you're trying to accomplish, right? And how efficiently maybe, and how well you accomplish what is that you're trying to accomplish. So if it's noise canceling, how well
mm-hmm.
does it cancels out noise while you're listening to music, right? Uh, it's interesting to me. Like I think it's easy to see it in durability kind of stuff, because definitely like with the underwear, I can tell you, yeah, it's hard to like properly see how fast like cheap underwear deteriorates versus other. And sometimes it's not that hard actually. Sometimes you wear one day and you can already feel like it's stretched out. Uh, so in that aspect, like it's low quality. But then there's this notion also that maybe I've tried buy underwear here in China multiple times, like 5 times, just trying to find size. And the last ones that I bought are not too tight in my waist, but they are too tight everywhere else. So like I gave up, I gave up because the ones that were not too little were too big in one way and too small in another way. So like it was just like completely.
Yeah,
Is
because the
that low
average
quality?
there for
It's not, right? It's
people
just
that
this
would
different
wear those
design.
underwear, it's different. Like their body shape is different. then it would be for foreigners, or maybe more particularly like what it would be for like people from like more Latin American ish, yeah, Hispanic ish descent.
Okay, okay, I have a story. So, 4.5 years ago, when I came to China the first time, I bought underwear on a street market in Muping, and I bought like, wait, you're gonna laugh, man, but I still have them. I still have them because they're so comfortable, man. I bought like three pairs of leopard designed underwear. Man, they're fucking smooth, man. Man,
Chinese
they're really
leopard
fucking
print
amazing.
underwear. Those
And
are
I remember, man, so like once a year there's in Hong Kong this huge martial arts competition, kung fu competition, and I went there with a couple of friends, right? And I had this underwear with me, and I put them on, and I didn't realize I had white pants on, so you could, through the white pants, you could see the leopard design, of my underwear. And my friend, she was like, "Darko, do you have like leopard underwear on?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then the best part was like my,
so
my
mind
roommate. So we
now
shared the
to
whole.
keep your
I have a
opponent
friend shared the hotel room,
confused.
and I was standing there in underwear, in the leopard underwear, brushing my teeth. When he came in, he looked at me and was like, "Darko, you showing me your side? I didn't even know you had." So that other, oh man, yeah, I love
Let's
this
talk
underwear. I
about
still have them, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna give them away. They are good quality, man. And they were cheap. But they cost me a couple
It's funny that out of
right. Don't
all
give
the places you could have got that, you got it from Market Street.
Right? It's like you can buy a lot of shit on there, but from time to time there's like a
it.
golden nugget, something that's like
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
there's a dime there for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I fucking love it, man.
This
Take
kind
some
of
pictures and put it
leopard
actually on the
underwear.
website
That's the
and be
diamond.
like, here, this is what I'm talking about.
You can just name this episode "Leopard Underwear."
Oh
Experimental episode for leopard underwear. That's gonna be the title.
leopard underwear.
No, but
That sounds like a cool
yeah, but
firm
what's
name,
the best
right? Leopard
part?
underwear.
What's the best part? For
Sounds
a
like
couple of
or
years,
maybe
I
like
thought it was a tiger underwear. I just, like I just, and I was and I was always talking about tigers, and then like 1 or 2 years ago when I had the underwear on in Kunyoshan, and my American roommate saw it, he's like, "Oh, nice leopard underwear." I'm like, "No man, it's tiger." He's like, "No man, tigers have." I'm like, "Fuck, yeah, you're right." So like for 2 or 3 years, I had this underwear. I didn't realize like it was actually leopard and not tiger. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they were. Maybe that's why you feel like they're such good quality, because what you focused on the quality was something completely different,
That wasn't even
and
there.
it years for someone to actually like shift your perception. And by then, you are already invested. You were already way in, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, but the funny part is really when I think about it, like I was convinced our tiger underwear. For many years, for many years, like even though I looked at them so many times, my brain didn't realize, man, no, tigers have stripes and not dottish.
Spots. Yeah. I wonder. I mean, tiger underwear would be awesome. Now that I think about it, why always leopard, right? Why they have a monopoly
Right?
on raunchy underwear? Like, where the
Right?
tigers at? Where's the
I didn't
koalas
even think
at?
about it,
Zebra.
but that's
Where's the grass?
right. Man,
Yeah, yeah,
honestly,
zebra
really interesting
underwear.
shit.
What is it about leopards that makes them, or maybe it's like somebody
No,
did
no,
it
no,
first and then it was just
that's not the issue.
leopards?
The
But
issue
what
is with
about
all
other
the
cool animals? Why aren't they as
blank
famous
underwears,
in
like Calvin
Japan?
Klein and Versace, or whatever, black and white and gray. That's basically the three colors you have, and all the other, like patterns, like animals. They're like. Did you ever see Calvin Klein underwear with tiger stripes?
No.
Right. Like why?
Mm,
Why
no,
not?
I don't.
Why not? Why does it always
I,
have to be black underwear or white or gray?
I don't
I will. I will say though, I do like
know.
now
They're
I
waiting
mainly
for.
use boxers. But when I like it would use like underwear like under the boxers and or like however set up. Anyway, I would go for something. I would generally go for black because I don't know. I like things. I like my clothing being generally like very unassuming, so I just pick like bland colors generally, just like straight one color. So I do kind of like that. I don't think I would wear uh like
Plain
leopard
black.
or tiger
Homie,
boxers or that kind of stuff.
it's the best when you have a girlfriend. Or like you have the first time sex and you put on your pants and you have like a leopard thing on. That's confidence, my friend, man. That's true confidence there.
Horsetail comes out of
You
your
already
underwear.
established
Woo!
yourself,
Wait,
I'm
is
just
that
saying, man.
normal,
It's like
right?
marketing. You're already unforgettable from the get go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use plain underwear too, but it's more. I don't think too much about it. If I could, one of the many sets of underwears I buy it to try. I chose like very cool, like multiple color underwears and stuff like that, but none of them fit, so that didn't work out. Otherwise, like I can wear whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
I don't
I
do white.
prefer
I don't do white
that
though.
colors
I
though,
feel
you
like
know, like not
I don't
just
know.
white. Definitely not just white. It's not. You have to. You're a big ass man, you know, with a big
It's
ass. So
like
you can't
And I
be wearing like
remember
white
this
underwear when
friend
you're
of
out there
ours,
your life. Come
like when I
on.
was in college, we went to a pool, but we going to the pool wasn't really like planned. So people got into the pool with like their underwear, and then there was one guy who got in with white underwear, and then we we still tell the story to this day. We're still talking about him. So I feel like after that, that was when I was like, oh, this is dangerous. So let's do gray or black.
but wait a second. What happened when he went with white underwear to the pool? Could you see his dick?
Yeah.
It
Or
became
what?
see through, basically.
Oh, okay.
See, Nick,
Oh man.
he was. That's ironically the white underwear turns out to be the most assuming one, the most like call for
I man,
attention at the end of
man,
the
I
day.
forget. It's
It's
so
just so
strange, man.
weird to
That like
see
white under
white
or like white
underwear on
clothes
other
and
people.
like generally get see through once they get wet.
That's a good point. Yeah. I
Like
wonder why that happens.
right, and but I love the fact that one of the
It's
like
magic physics.
the things that people came the idea to,
Actually,
like oh, look, this white clothes get see through when they get wet. So what how can we use this for our advantage? And then they made like the wet t-shirt contest. I love how people, like, could see
Right.
to that.
Out of this.
Like, who came up with that idea?
And I feel
How they
just the name of it sounds
are, right?
goofy because, like, how do you even?
They are
What
created
are you contesting?
sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess who looks sexier in a wet t-shirt? I guess that. But
Okay, so you went direct to the best. I would probably took this. They first said like, let's try who gets the
mhm.
most wet, but then like fat girls will always win, so that couldn't be right. Then they were because they had a t-shirt. Then what was the second try? Like who didn't get as wet? That don't count. I don't know. And then they
Nah, I
get to
don't think
your
it's about the
conclusion,
size of the
which is
boobs,
like,
man. I really
okay,
think
who
just
has the
like who
biggest
looks the
boobs
hottest with a wet t-shirt.
under that shirt? Great.
It's all the biggest boobs, right?
There was a silence. There was a silence,
All
and then all right.
But clothes are so strange, man. So strange, like I'm glad we have them, but it must be very, very weird, like 10,000 years ago, just having like leaves or like I got not leaves, but maybe having I don't know animals.
That would have been really funny if we would have like actually used leaves.
Mm. Somebody had to start in that shit, right? Like, just get some tree sap, put it on the leaves, then you stick them to your body. You have some camouflage going as well, like leaf
But
Maybe
man,
if you combine
and then
them
you
with
could
like
just hulk around the
specific colored
woods. Nobody
leaves,
would
you would
see you
look
because
like a
you're a leaf
leopard.
man. That's
donkey. Um,
Mhm. Some poop on,
hey,
and then
but
you will be
I'm
like
just asking
camouflaging
myself, do you
smell
think
too. Oh my god, you know that.
I must have
That's
been
real
like that
survival.
to 10,000 years ago or something like that? There was no tailor, so basically everyone had to know how to make their own clothes.
Yeah, and I wonder like how much clothes we actually wear. Because looking at like indigenous groups and even some of the ones that remain today, they barely use any clothing. So so it would I wonder where it really came from. Um,
Mm,
that this kind of almost like affinity or this need for being uh clothes
Hmm.
clothed. I don't know which tense would be the right one to use in this case, but
Mm.
I wonder where this all came from because yeah, like even if you look at some of the tribes, some of them I think don't even wear anything; they just body paint.
What's with
So
yeah,
so I wonder.
what's with Eskimos?
Yeah, I feel
when they try to
Ah,
migrate,
ah,
so it's
ah.
like when they
When
try
they
to move
moved
north
north, they
or
put
too
on
much
more,
south,
and
then
when
they
they moved
have to
south,
kind of figure it out.
they removed
The
clothes.
clothes
yeah.
And
Maybe they make it more like they don't make it like exact fits. Maybe they just
can take.
make like a general thing because what you need is layers. So anyway, you're gonna have like something on top of something else on top of something else.
and maybe you pass it on, once you die, somebody else takes it because clothes must have been rare.
That too. I guess. Well, I guess if you're yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of thinking that if you're hunting
Hmm.
somewhat often, you are collecting like wool or pelts that you can use, but yeah, you would need quite a few to be able to like make a good coat, for example. Um, and then being able to make a coat for everyone, yeah, I would bet you would inherit them. And some would probably turn out way like end up turning out better. So you would probably prefer those. Yeah.
So okay, so that segues into another thing, right? You will prefer those because they turn out better, and sometimes it might be better at how they work, how they feel, but also better of how they look. And what really interests me about like all their cultures, or what we know about them, and maybe it's like the clothes that they made or the accessories they made for that are not survival things, right? Like
Right.
even in these indigenous species, not species, indigenous humans that we see, they have sometimes like necklaces, they have piercings of all kinds and stuff like that, that frankly, like it has to do more with the
Shit, but now that
culture, right? Their
yeah,
rituals and
now
stuff
that
like
you
that. And
mentioned
that
that,
to me is
that reminds me
crazy
of like
interesting, really.
those tribes
Like
that
how
would, when kids were born, they
go
would
ahead.
like essentially like crush the skull of the child, so they would have like a longer skull, sort of thing. And, we believe that they consider that to be like even better looking. So it would go even further than you know vanity things that we consider now, such as like chains and all that, to even like physical changes in maybe like a similar sense that now.
What?
Yeah, plastic baby surgery.
Crushed skulls?
Surgery in a way.
What? What did you say? They
Jesus.
crushed skulls?
They essentially, because your bones when you were younger, they're more um flexible, I guess, so you can almost like mold their shape.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would kind of like mold the infant's skull, so it would end up as more like a longer kind of thing upwards, so upwards and back. So it's kind of similar to the aliens on like the Alien movie, like
Mm,
the xenomorphs.
mm.
Not that long, of course, but something kind of like that, where like the back of the skull kind of like extends backwards and upwards.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah,
People, humans are strange, man. Humans are very, very strange. Oh, do you know the people who, the rings around the neck
yeah,
and make the necks like super.
yeah. So it
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
elongates like your neck, but it also
So
like fucks
to
up your spine and stuff like that.
That
Oh yeah, I think so.
and
Because
they
because
can
the
like
spine is
have that
the spine
in
is
a
the
way.
spine grows to not support the weight, because the weight is being supported by those necklaces. So
mm,
if they take off the neck, spine, the spine was never exercised to hold that weight.
fuck, fuck, and just
And that's
imagine when.
great, because even your neck is like
Jesus.
full of muscles that you could
Yeah,
exercise to become like really tough. And it's like a place that you never even think about.
Yeah, man. Oh, do you know the tribes who put like the rings in their lips, like the huge. Yeah,
Oh, I've seen those.
yeah, that's also super weird.
they put like
But yeah, for them it's like super normal. It's like that's how we do it, man. But who the fuck came up with the idea to put like a fucking
oh,
plate in the lips?
Damn, dude. And the capability of the human body to withstand all this crazy shit.
mm-hmm.
Man, that who came up to put a plate in the lip, and the fucking idiots who all agreed on that. You know, like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's put a fucking plate in our lips. You know, That's the things that fuck me. Most of the time the things that fuck me up are not even the ideas itself, but more the people who agree on them.
Yeah. That someone was like, wow, this looks beautiful. And everyone else was like, oh yeah, yeah, sure. And then eventually everyone just started believing it. It just became like maybe maybe it comes
Trend.
back down to like that idea of quality where like quality is based on where your perception is or like what you've seen. So when someone's like, "Oh, this is beauty," and you didn't really think about beauty before, or you didn't really define it, it's like, "Oh, okay, that must be it then," because I didn't have a definition, and now I have a definition, so that must be it. Long lips or long neck. So then no one questions it.
Then somebody else says quality and somebody else says quality, and then we go into quality wars, which is like Apple, right? Apple is like that's all that they're selling, that they're better, the better product, the better everything, the most high quality, but
And that's not
eh,
just
it's
apples.
relative. It's
I
still
have to think about
relative,
peaches.
in many ways.
There was a, there was a thing that I watched on YouTube. I don't know, maybe it was John Oliver's thing. I'm not sure. There was I think it was John Oliver where he showed that peaches go through a quality test. And if a peach, even though she's perfectly fine, does not fulfill the standards of a peach, like a normal sized peach, and has like a little bit, it just looks differently. It's more it's a little bit differently shaped. It faults the test of quality and gets thrown out, even though she's perfectly fine and eatable and everything's right, just because of the shape. And that's also like I was like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I've heard something similar. Yeah, so
So peaches have it hard,
there's
basically.
what you call it peach privilege that if you have a certain shape you're a privileged peach.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, when you think about it, when you go into the
What's my peach
supermarket
privilege?
and you look at the peaches, they all look similar. They look all similar, or the
Yeah,
apples now. It's like they're all like paste and copy and paste of each other.
yeah, and I've heard that there's like hundreds of like different types of apples, for example, but we only see like at the markets we only see like a handful different um case of apples, and I wonder how much of that is just that some of
Five.
them would look so strange or would taste so different, even though they would taste good, they would taste so different than what we're used to that we would consider them as bad quality.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's like in the market here where you can buy like rotten eggs. I don't know exactly what they are. If they are fermented eggs, rotten eggs, eggs that have gone bad, and then I don't understand how that works. Like, do things go so bad that they become good again or something? But it's like eggs encased in like
right.
where it looks like rotten
Nah,
and it's called like rotten egg. I don't know what it is, but they have that in
mm,
the market.
Yeah, and
And you've never seen that in
I
well,
wonder
I've never
because
seen it.
there are other products that are based on a process that at some point gets fermented and then it ends up with something that we actually like normally eat. So I wonder how much. So I wonder if things rot things going rotten isn't actually bad. It's just that we are not used to it. Like just basically like you're saying. But then maybe there's a bunch of stuff that we can still eat, but because it tastes bitter or it tastes like soggy or anything, we think that we're gonna get sick by eating it, and so we avoid it.
hmm.
Yeah, I wonder what rotten really is, right? In a way, because part of me thinks as rotten as like fungus or something, but that's fungus. It's not literally rotten, right? So is it just deterioration? But I don't know, like there's something I don't think is
And I think you're
rotten
fine.
or
I
fungusy
think you're fine when
food,
you eat
like
it.
or
I mean,
mossy things.
I mean,
Ugh.
what I've done in the past was like, you know, when I had like a sandwich and it was, man, like, okay, uh, I don't think I should tell that story. I was in fucking military, and I was so fucking hungry, and I had like a sandwich left, and I was like really fucking hungry, and I saw I was rotten on the side, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna rip that piece off and eat the rest. The rest looks fine, you know, and I don't know, like I felt fine, and everything was fine. My finger was even stronger,
You're not dead, and the world didn't end. So I think it seems like things are fine.
but
Yeah, but before you ate that sandwich, you were 7 foot tall, and now you are what, like 6.5? That's what happens. Are you a particle the other side? Because I thought about it. Like maybe if I just cut that part
Yeah,
out, I can eat. But
what
I'm
you're
like
cutting
afraid
off
like
is
the
just
little
what you can't
rotties
see,
just
but then there's a
kind
lot
of
more.
move into the other part of
right.
my cat.
But you cut off just a little bit more. You don't cut it off at the edge of the fungus. Cut off a little bit. And you should be fine.
If you don't go with the scissors right along the edge, if you don't trace the edge exactly of the mold, it's fine.
Like an inch. If you have a half an inch distance, it should be okay if you have enough space left.
More.
If more
Haven't
than 50% mold, then you should
more
like the rule of thumb.
throw it because you will not have enough space to separate them all. That said, like in a extreme situation or something like that, it's like yeah, just cut
People
it and
are like,
eat it.
oh yeah, I
Not
can eat it
saying just on average, moldy food makes me
now.
fish.
Yeah.
Something that I was gonna go into that we kind of like glossed over before is that a lot of these things are like consensus. It's like we we don't eat rotten things because people generally don't eat rotten things. Like it wouldn't be something generally acceptable. So it's like this idea
Mhm.
that almost that if a lot of people agree on something, then that something must be true. But have we really seen like a good example of that ever like being like really, really true?
The thing is that we wrote, and it's one of those kind of truths that seems to make sense because the food it's if it doesn't smell that good, if it's stuff like that, if you tried other rotten food and it actually tastes kind of shitty, like sour milk or milk that has gone bad,
Mm-hmm.
then like it's easy to be like, okay, yeah, all rotten foods are bad because it can make me sick. But for other things,
Yeah,
it's
or
not
Yeah,
that clear, right? Like we're drinking hot
but I
water
know. What
all
about
the time,
like now the example this is sour
and
milk? What I know is like
it
that
curing.
sour milk, you know, because it's pasteurized in most places, the bacteria is already removed. So even when the milk turns sour, it's actually still drinkable, and you're gonna be fine.
yeah, yeah, and so that's what I was thinking. Like if you were to drink the milk for the first time and it was sour, you would be like, "Oh, that's weird. This milk is sour." But it is when someone else comes over and tells you, "Oh shit, no, you're gonna fucking die or something if you drink that." That then you're like, "Oh, no, okay, this is bad." Like when it's sour, it's bad. But before that, you don't have like a standard for it. So
But that's so true. It's so true. It's so fucking true what you're saying now, because like the belief thing, it plays a huge, huge role. A huge role. I have.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Do
yes.
you, do you want to say something to it?
That's kind of where I was
Okay, because like, man, the story that pops in my mind, like that I
getting at.
had,
Go ahead,
and
go
I
ahead.
like to
Keep
tell it
going.
when it was
Just,
last year when I fucked up my foot, my ligament. And so, Rafa, you've been there, right? So in the martial arts school, I fucked up my ligament. I tore it a little bit, and I did not know that I tore my ligament. People were telling me like, "Man, you fucked up. You look like you tore your ligament, etc." And it was like huge, swollen, had all colors, and I was just like, I was keeping on training because in my head I was like, I just, for me in my head was like, oh, I just tripped. That's nothing serious. And then people were telling me no, no. The funny thing was like I did not know what ligament means because it's English. I didn't know what it means, right? She was just like, yeah, yeah, sure. I tore my ligament. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was keep telling that people too, right? And I did not know myself, so I kept training, and then my foot hurt. It was like, yeah, maybe a little break, and then I went to the competition, and my foot was hurting a little bit more. I was like, hmm. It's kind of, I can still train, but I might go. Like after 10 days, I went to the doctor and he was like, why didn't you come earlier? I was like, I didn't think it was serious. And he was like, okay, 3 weeks no training. We're like, what? What? Yeah, so like the beliefing plays a huge role. I did not know what ligament means. And I just rolled with it. I was like, yeah, sure.
yeah, and I feel like that's similar to what happened with me when I messed up my knee. That like apparently I had like really fucked up my like the part of the tendon that goes through the knee. Um, but I kept on training because there's also the almost like this belief that no you just power through it. That's how you grow through things. You just power through it. So even if it hurts, you just keep kind of going. And it took until I pretty much couldn't walk that they had to take me to the hospital. And then the doctor said pretty much the same thing that they said to you, Darko. They were like, why didn't you just stop training? You just needed to take like 2 weeks off, and now you lost a month and a half.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, fucking idiots.
Which considering that we couldn't really understand what the doctor was saying, probably that was part of the conversation.
Sure.
This foreigner doesn't know like that his leg fucked up. He just wouldn't stop.
But it's part of his body, man. He should understand. He should feel it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh fuck. But I remember when he came to Kunyushan, like to the school, to the martial arts school, and the mountain run. But we did the stairs at the time because the mountain was closed. And he was taking a break, and I was one of the guys who was like basically, come on, man, you should know.
Yeah. It was
I was one of the guys.
Yeah, it was you and coach that really pushed me. But I'm gonna tell you that there was something really particular that happened a few days later where you asked me why I was limping because I going upstairs was like extremely painful, so I had to go upstairs in a really goofy way. And then you
Mhm.
asked me, and when I told you what happened, you were like, "I'm sorry because I pushed you, because I like pushed you to like push yourself," and I was like, "Holy shit!" I never even considered blaming Darko for that, and then I was like, "Damn," all the things that almost like go into that, almost all the things that go into when you're pushing yourself that you don't even notice, although like maybe like ex- yeah, all of the external pressures and all that. And honestly, like
the pressure, right?
it didn't even like
Pressure.
cross my mind until Darko said it. And even after Darko said it, I had
Hmm.
to like still think about it. I was like, what the fuck does Darko have to do with my leg being fucked? And I was like, oh, okay, right, okay.
But here's the thing: when you train people, you are responsible for them. Also, right? I'm not sure they have like self responsibility, but you have as a coach trainer to kind of like feel the people
Yeah.
individually. How much do how much like like some people are just coming. So problem with stuff like that is some people are just coming to to be able to say, oh, I went to China to martial arts school, and some people want to train properly, and the ones who train the other people are more the ones that separate to know like for me it was also very important to know like who is just like fucking around and who is taking this serious.
Yeah, and I feel like because I guess now that we're on the topic, um, I do think everyone should be doing kind of like whatever they want because it's hard to gauge really like who's taking it seriously because some people take it
Mhm.
too seriously and in some circles that's taking it seriously and everyone who's not taking it too seriously is like fucking around and kind of like the way I'm looking at it is that in my group um there was almost like a so I think there was a history of people joining the Tai Chi group after being injured or stuff like that. And so what would happen is that they wouldn't go as far as people thought that they could go because they didn't want to push themselves because they wanted to recover and then go back to their group. So there was almost like an ongoing fear on the people who had been there for a while that a lot of the people who joined the Tai Chi group were lazy. So what then in turn happens is that because you're looking for lazy people because you're scared of them or you're scared of them joining your group, you will you're almost like paying extra attention to sparks of laziness and you're going to be able to find like laziness on everyone. So what would then happen is that people would be like, oh, I think this guy is lazy, I'm not going to help him as much as this other person who's not. And then because that person is not being helped, they feel like the group doesn't want them there and then they start becoming more lazy or showing like more signs of laziness. So it's like a self like perpetuating system. And when I realized it, I was like, fuck, this is so weird that this is happening because I feel like also in my mind I'm thinking that to some degree these masters that have been training for a while have also like seen all these things, so they figured out these kind of things, but they haven't, they're people just like us, so they're also dealing with trying to figure out which students are good, which students are not good, and then what the fuck does it mean that what the fuck do any of those things actually even mean, that a student is good or bad or that a student is like lazy or not lazy. So I don't know, I feel like especially after being at the school, my definition of people who are taking things seriously and people who are not has become like very difficult to define because I'm not sure what that means anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, you need to create a bar, right? If you want to say someone's serious, someone is not. Like you have to create a standard for that to work. And yeah, maybe some people just want to go there to get some fitness done. Maybe some people want to learn how to kick ass. Maybe some people want to teach that. And maybe,
Definitely.
if you see those three people taking a class, their output is gonna be really different, And then what would you say that one is serious and what
Yeah,
isn't?
because
It just depends on where you set the bar,
yeah,
And then at the end of the day, what does it matter? That's kind of where I stand on this because it's other people,
and
they can go there if they want to go there
and
to
it's
take Instagram pictures, then that's
you're
their
the one setting the
prerogative. Like
bar,
it
you're
don't
the
matter.
one
It's
who
their
made
thing,
it
and
up,
then
so you can't
go
really
ahead.
be sure that it will give you an accurate measurement of other people. Because now that you said that example, there was a guy at the school that came around the same time as me, and his goal for being there was that he straight up wanted to become a better fighter. He went there to get his like to get fucked up, like to get into fights and to get in like messed up and all that, because that's how he learned how to fight. But if you looked at him, if you would look at him like normally, he would be like fucking around, you know. Did your internet go off? Because I wonder also if you were like, since you were the host, if maybe like because your internet.
That might have actually happened. It might actually happen. That could have been the reason. Right. That could have been the
Makes
reason.
sense.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's just stop here now because the app doesn't want us or the internet doesn't work. And I'm gonna see if it actually recorded at all now that it just kicked out. So
Yeah, let's see how it went.
And for you guys listening, since we're always doing changes and trying things out, please send us your thoughts through email, and that would also help us because we can only see it from our perspectives. But when you guys listen to it, you can also give us feedback or ideas on things we can try out and all that.
Yeah. And
That
God
will be-
knows I don't listen to my voice on radio, so I don't know how we sound or how well it's going. So we
Right.
appreciate the feedback, at least from my side.
That will be
Definitely.
more than amazing. So in the episode notes, you're gonna find the links to the email, to the Facebook webpage, which we are not as active now, but I think in the future might come, and my other social media accounts and Edward's website. So like in the episode notes are all the tools to connect with us. Just go ahead, don't be shy, and hopefully hear you next time. Or see you.
See you next time.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good night, day, morning.
Yeah, man, morning.
All right, guys. Take care.
Good night, Rafa. Bye.
Good night, guys.